Welcome back to the Uncensored Voice. This is Randolph Macias, your host, and today we have Jacinto running for Bexar County Chair. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So tell me, what is the deal with Bexar County GOP at this time? I don't think we have good leadership, in my opinion. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I don't think we have good leadership either. You know, we haven't had any good leadership at the Bexar County GOP for a very long time. The reason that I'm running is because I feel that there's a very big neglect for the minority communities. You know, the Hispanic and the Black communities have been neglected for a very long time. The GOP continues to concentrate on the north part of San Antonio, in the richer and higher class parts of San Antonio, and continue to neglect the other parts. I believe that it's time for us to make a change here. I don't believe that the GOP is going to win anything in Bexar County without the Hispanic and Black votes. And they continue to refuse to go out and reach out to these people. And I think enough is enough, and it's time for someone of Hispanic descent, someone different, to come in there and run and try to change some things around.
And no offense to any of those who may be other than minority, Hispanic, and Black, but it appears to be that the local Bexar County GOP leadership doesn't seem to embrace the equality of multiracial voters in our area and make sure that they're properly represented and even support them when they run for office. What is your opinion on that? Do they pay enough attention to that?
They don't pay any attention to that. You know, there's a lot of Hispanics and Blacks that run for office that aren't supported at all. They don't receive any support from the Bexar County GOP, from this administration or the one before that. You know, it's just been a very long time that these people have been neglected. No one pays attention to them. No one pays attention to those parts of town. You know, they say low voter turnout. You know, these people are Hispanics, they're Black, they're majority Democrat. We don't pay attention to those parts of town, and there is a lot of Hispanics out there. There is a lot of Republicans out there, a lot of conservatives out there. We need to continue to go and better inform these people in these parts of town that our values are the same as their values. And without us going out there and better informing these parts of town, you know, these people are going to continue to vote as they've been told all their life that they're Democrat and that's where they should stick. But, you know, if we went out there and we worked these places, we went out there and informed these people, I think we can make a change. There's a lot of people turning around. There's a lot of walkaway community. It's also not being accepted and welcome at the Bexar County GOP, and I think we need to do a better job at doing that so we can be able to retain these people and get them to vote our way so we can be able to win back our cities, our counties, our school districts, and our state.
The minority vote here in Bexar County, the percentage is high amongst white and Hispanic being an ethnicity. They pretty much are in the majority in this county. In San Antonio, I know for sure, and in most more in other parts than others. But one of my favorite subjects to talk about is identity politics. Just because you're Black, just because you're Hispanic, just because you're Asian does not automatically mean you are a Democrat. And it's my opinion, and I really insert my personal opinions on this, but I have to let our viewers know and our listeners know that people here in Bexar County, the minorities, some of these candidates were not represented or supported in the same manner as other candidates in our Bexar County GOP area, in our voting area, and that needs to change. Now, with respect to John Austin, the current chairman, he did say when before he got elected that he pretty much didn't want to do this full time, but yet he appears to be on the ballot again, or appears to be running again for office for Bexar County GOP, but there's a lot of complacency going on and nothing is really being done. The emotions that are suggested and seconded sometimes aren't even acknowledged. Record keeping and meeting rooms have all been an issue with respect to certain sides of town, the south side. Can you elaborate on, I believe we had a south side or south part of Bexar County GOP headquarters or building. Is that true?
Yes,
I think you were a part of that.
That is true. Actually, I am the person that started that up without the GOP's help in the very beginning. I went out, I funded this out of my own pocket. I decided that it was time for us to start something on the south part of town. I said, if the GOP isn't going to do it, I might as well try to do it on my own. You know, I'm not going to find any help anywhere else. John Austin did decide after about 4 months of me being out there that he would help out. He decided to help out. He helped out a little bit with the rent and and sending some of the help out there for a few months before the establishment there started complaining about it to him and made a big deal about it, made him pull out on it, and we ended up just shutting the whole place down. I know there's been several instances that he claims that he's the one that opened the office up. That's false, and I like to call him out on that because it isn't true at all. He's also claimed that he's the one that brought in the Southeast Side office with the RNC. That's also false. He hasn't done either one of those two. He didn't make any effort to even help them out once they were open at the RNC, and with us he did very little help. I think he showed up in the 5-6 months that the GOP actually did help with the rent down there at that building. I think I saw John Austin there one time. Other than that, it was more of distraction than anything else, having his people come in there and try to run things their way, not giving us an opportunity to do things the way we wanted to, the way we understood our people out there, and how we knew we were going to be able to attract those people in.
The minority vote here in Bexar County is just as important as even the most conservative Republican in Bexar County. Their votes matter just as much. I also want to include the LGBTQ community because their votes count as well. They're most likely underrepresented with respect to Mauro Garza, I believe. He has run for US 20, and I didn't see much support from Bexar County GOP there, and I also didn't see support for other candidates that were Hispanic. One of them, I believe, was a candidate for mayor. No support for her, but with respect to District 9, I believe it was District 9, John Courage versus Patrick Von Dolen. If I have that district wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure it was District 9. They lent him support, and he was able to let the people know at our CEC meetings, what his platform was. But it didn't seem that the other candidates were represented properly. And when I was at that meeting, I held up my hands and I pointed to two of the candidates, Andrew Vicencio and Patricia Varela, who had ran council races and did not get a mention at all by our vice chair, Charlotte Eisenhower. That is unacceptable. And that is part of the reason why I believe we need new leadership that will represent the minorities, but be just as strong of a conservative as anybody else. So did you see examples of that in other areas of the party?
I've actually seen it all over the place, all across the board. I've seen where Hispanic candidates have been ignored, and they need as much help as as everybody else there. And for some reason or another, I guess they just feel that if the person is an outsider or the person hasn't been around as much as the other, they kind of pick and choose who they want to help and who they want to support. And that's not the way it should work out. They should be able to support each individual equally, and we know at the very end see who wins. I mean, if a conservative is a conservative, that's what we're supposed to be taking care of. And then we have a lot of issues where they're more concerned about name recognition than anything else. We have people that aren't even conservative that are running, and the Republican Party supporting them and backing them up 100% when they're running against real conservative people, and yet they chose to back people that aren't Republican, aren't even Republican. And that's kind of the way they've been dealing with these things, and it's wrong. It's wrong. It's time that we change this. It's time that we support 100% Republicans, conservative people that are going to be out there doing and pushing the agenda of the Republican Party.
Now, I'm going to say this word, and I know it's a nasty word, but I have to use it because I know that it exists in the Bexar County GOP. Being a part of the Bexar County GOP establishment, I guess I am a precinct chairman myself. I've seen with my very own eyes, and I've seen postings on Facebook of people in our Bexar County GOP seemingly endorsing a liberal candidate for city council. That is completely unacceptable, but yet their position is still secure during this current administration with John Austin. Now, we have rhinos in the Bexar County GOP, and they need to be called out. I've called them out many times on my show, whether it be very recently or even in the past year. I've called them out by name many times, and it needs to change because if you are able to get the position of Bexar County GOP chairman, what changes would you make immediately once you are sworn into that position?
On the administrative part, the people that are at the office, I would change it completely. I wouldn't deal with anybody that's there right now at all. I would bring in a whole total new group of people. We would take a total different angle on what they're doing now, and we would make sure that, you know, the people that are there are, you know, accepting of the walkaways, accepting of the Hispanics, and open to whatever different ideas that we have to be able to reach different parts of town. I wouldn't keep the people that are, again, the establishment, the swamp that's there right now that continues to, it doesn't make a difference which chairman gets elected, they continue with the same agenda over and over. It's the people that are there that continue to convince the chairwoman or chairman that comes in to go a different route than what they've claimed that they were going to do during their campaigning. So I wouldn't have anybody there. I would change out that whole administration.
Does the Bexar County GOP have the ability to, even if it's not totally financially, do they have the ability to, or is it their responsibility rather, to support all GOP candidates regardless of race, regardless of sexual orientation? Is that their duty?
Yes, it is.
And have you seen it done at all?
No, at all. At all.
Even under the previous Bexar County GOP chairman?
Again, they pick and choose who they want to help out. And it seems like they've helped out more those that aren't even part of the Republican Party than they have their own people. I don't understand how they see, how they even make any sense of that, but they help out other people that have had liberal ideas, have had liberal agendas, have ran as liberal and Democrat people in the past. Those are the people that somehow or another the party continues to support. And the strong Republican conservatives that are there are being ignored and no one is paying attention to them. I don't know if it's a race thing. I don't know if it's because they're Hispanics or because they're from different parts of town. You know, I heard one person one time say they don't have the experience or the education to run for that position. That's, you know, as long as these people want to make a difference, that should be the only only thing that they need to be able to run for office. That's what we need, is people that want to make a difference, not people that just want a name for themselves and continue to run for these positions just to be able to be popular or be able to, make a name for themselves. That's not the right thing to do.
My personal opinion on that is I think that the Bexar County GOP platform, there's a name for it, but the wording of the platform needs to be rewritten to make sure that it is all inclusive of everyone, because I think at some point in time they are not being inclusive of our Hispanic candidates, of which we had a lot in the last city council races. Personally, it was Andrew Vicencio, number 2, David Tristan, Patricia Varela. We had
Kat Garza.
Kat Garza, District 3, I believe. And then we had District 9, Irina. We lost all those races save one. Clayton Perry, our incumbent, is still in office. So we have at least some representation in the Republican side. But I think we could have been more effective if we would just have supported them more and given them a little bit more of any type of endorsement promotion would have been nice. I didn't see any of that. So are these the major changes that you think need to take place?
Yes, they are. There's a lot of changes that need to be made, but this is one of the big changes that does need to be made. There's a lot of Hispanics that want to run, and the first thing they say is, well, we get no support from the GOP. We get no help from anybody. We don't hear anything from anyone, even calling to let us know that they're backing us up or whatever it is. And then the excuse is always, oh, we're going to wait till the runoff, or we're going to wait till the very end, and see what happens. But these people need help throughout the entire campaign, not just at the very end when they're trying to, figure things out and scramble at the very end. We need to make sure we help these guys from the very beginning, whatever it is that we might be able to help them out with. If it's trying to find people to help them fundraise, if it's trying to help them do phone banking, a lot of times they say, oh, we don't have the finances to help every single candidate. But I mean, there's a lot of different things. We can rally up volunteers to make to do phone banking, to do block walking, be able to help them out in any way whatsoever. I mean, they have a lot of influence. They can help, by even just mentioning names of some of these candidates that are running to be able to help them out. Nobody wants to run because the GOP doesn't back them up at all.
So you're saying that the minority candidates that are running maybe are hesitant to run because they just simply won't have the support, or maybe even the volunteer legwork that they need to knock on doors and phone bank. Now, do they have the right to use the facilities, or is it only at the discretion of the Bexar County GOP chairman?
They should have the right to use the facilities. I don't know how that works, to tell you the truth, but I'm sure that, those doors can be opened up to anyone they already open them up to anybody else that wants to use them. I don't see why they wouldn't allow any of the candidates to use them. So yeah, I think they should be allowed to be able to use any of the facilities at any time that they want or need. That belongs to the people. That belongs to the people. It doesn't belong to the party. We all work together for this party.
At the end of the day, we're all on the same team.
Yes.
And I don't see teamwork in the Bexar County GOP establishment, and I do think we have a swamp that needs to be cleaned and drained, and maybe under new leadership, we can actually make that happen, because there's a lot of unhappy people. I've talked to them, I've seen them, and sometimes the meetings don't even go very well. We don't seem to make a lot of progress, and what little progress we make is done after 3 or 4 hours, and then people just start leaving because just nothing really gets done. Yeah. A lot of the bylaws are being ignored. What is your opinion on how are the bylaws being followed? Do they need to be rewritten? Do they need to be redefined?
I think they need to be redefined. I think a lot of the, again, you're right on that we never get anything done there. There's a lot of precinct chairs that are quitting all over the place. There's a lot of people that are walking out of these meetings. They don't even want to hear. There's a lot of drama going on there. Again, it comes back to the part where we have a lot of precinct chairs that are there just to warm up these seats and not really do anything. They take this more almost like a community center deal, where they come in, they hang out, they come and eat their sandwiches and, have their drinks and argue against the people that are up there on the stage, and they don't get anything done. They don't ever get anything done. I think a lot of times they fight this because they know that it's going to be something that's going to be continuing on every single time they have a meeting, and they don't ever want it to finish, because if we got things done, we eventually not have to go there so often. I don't know what it is, to tell you the truth, but what we need to do is, again, we need to encourage people to run in these precincts so we can get rid of some of these people that are do-nothings, that are establishment swamp people that are do-nothings, that sit there and all they do is cause disruption and causing problems here for the entire GOP and everyone that actually wants to do something. They cause a problem for all of us that really want to get this moving, and that's why we are in the problem that we're in right now.
Well, it seems to be the case. We have a lot of precinct chair precincts that are open and vacant, and some of the precinct chairs just maybe it's just for prestige that they have this title. I myself in District 2090, I posted I'm going to be knocking on doors. I would appreciate any help you could get, and thanks to the help of Mike Zuniga, he was able to cut me some books for District 20, my own precinct 2090. I'm going to be working US 23. And I want to ask my fellow precinct chairs if they could help me, or if they know of people that could help me do these door knockings. I have 5,000 doors I got to do for US 23, but of course I have a book for my own backyard as well, and I would be willing to help out any precinct chair. I don't see a lot of, I know there are people out there that do work and try to get the engagement of their constituents engaged in wanting to know who is running in an office and be fully informed of whatever is going on through literature, or just talking into the doorbell if you have to as a last-ditch effort. But it is very important. I think we need support, and we're not getting it.
We have lost every single seat here in Bexar County. We don't win anymore here. We've lost everything. We continue to lose everything. We don't have people that want to run anymore. Even the people that do run don't get helped out. We're losing all over the place here. We need to change this. We need to make a difference. We need to change this from the top and be able to get better representation, someone that's going to change the entire idea of what the GOP stands for, somebody that come in there, somebody that's not establishment, an outsider. And that's why I'm running, because I am an outsider. I am someone that's not there in the establishment. The other two guys that are running are nothing but establishment, people that have been there for many years, people that have just, been bought out pretty much by the establishment people there. I don't represent anybody there. I'm not getting funded by anybody there. I'm not getting help by anybody there. The thing is, I am an outsider. I'm coming in with outsider ideas. I see this from a different perspective, and I believe that along with, tons of support that I've got so far, it is time for a change. It's time for us to make a change there at the GOP office, to be able to get our party on track, to be able to start winning again, start being able to get these seats back.
Now, the Republican Party is the party of Donald J. Trump, and I've been to rallies and I've been to many meetings with people that are associated with the MAGA movement, Make America Great Again. And while one of your taglines on your flyers is "Make the Party Great Again." In this case, I don't think that the local GOP party it could be much better than it has been. So we want to make sure that we let our listeners and our viewers know that we want to make the party great again. That's your tagline. How exactly can we make it great again? Because as a Trump supporter myself, I see blacks for Trump, I see Asians for Trump, I see cops for Trump, I see everybody that they have their own T-shirts and their own hats for Trump. So maybe some inclusivity in the Bexar County GOP is essential, and you would be able to wield the power of the office, hopefully, to make all that available to everybody in our headquarters and hopefully some reforms in our bylaws. So talking into the camera, what would you tell people that have the power to elect you? What change can you bring other than what our current leadership under John Austin?
We used to have every single seat at the courthouse. The Republicans here in San Antonio and Bexar County had a good party at one time. We used to be winners. We used to be people that were inclusive at one time of every race. Every single judge that was up there pretty much was a Hispanic judge. For some reason or another, things have changed. For some reason or another, Hispanics have been neglected and have not been accepted into this party, Hispanics and blacks. For some reason or another, the GOP has left the other parts of town alone and just concentrated on the north side. I don't know what it is, but it's time for a change. I am the only Hispanic running on this party, for this position. I'm the only Hispanic here. The other two people that are running for this position are establishment people. I'm an outsider. I bring outsider ideas. I am the only person that will be able to go out to the Hispanic and black communities and reach out to those people, and also put on a suit and go out and talk to the people on the north side. These people that are there right now will not be able to do both things. They concentrate on only their country clubs. They concentrate in their Dominion parties. They concentrate on the big donors. They concentrate on the Precinct 3 area where the majority of the people are Republican voters, and neglect every other part of town. Enough is enough. Let's make a difference. Let's make this party great again. Let's get back on track and let's start winning something here in Bexar County.
Well said. I appreciate that, Jacinto. Now, it seems like the votes of the minority for GOP votes and Republican and conservative voters are of value, but then they're like, "Thank you for the votes," and then they keep us at arm's length, which is unacceptable. Just shunned, pretty much. We vote conservative, and then they never change. And I know what the principles of conservatism are, but we have to adapt through time, and now is that time. And it's certainly my hope that some positive change can be brought about with the GOP chairmanship, and I'm glad that we're able to get your message out to the people that have the power to elect you, and let's bring some positive change to Bexar County GOP. Thank you very much for your time, Jacinto. God bless America and the great state of Texas.
Thank you very much for having me. God bless you.
My name is Jacinto Martinez. I am one of the candidates for Bexar County Chairman. I am running against John Austin. I believe that this party needs better representation for the Hispanic and black communities. I believe that John Austin and the previous administrations before that have been concentrating so much on the north part of town and on the the people that they think that are just behind them, and not really trying to turn other people or reaching out to other parts of town. I'm not here to really make the campaign speech, but I do want to applaud George and Kat. We've been doing this for a very, very long time. I'm here. I do as much as I can for these people. This is the kind of representation you need. Someone is going to stick around. John Austin, he's at an ice cream social somewhere. This is where he should have been. He should have been marching these streets with you guys here, because this is what we need to represent Bexar County and the GOP. We need people that are going to be stronger to assist and back candidates that are going to run and change this city and county around. And with these people that are continuing to represent us, the establishment, we're never going to get there. We need to drain that swamp. We need to get rid of those people. On another note, on the school board, we are actually working together with George and Kath. And Yvette back there in the back, she has a print shop that she is working together to be able to fund different candidates to run for school district, conservative candidates. So if please, all those people that came up here about school boards, that's where it's all going to start. It's going to start with being able to bring conservative values to the kids in school. So when they come out of there and they start voting, they vote conservative. So we need to be able to do that. So we're willing to help out 100% on whatever we can to be able to get people elected. Thank you very much. God bless you.